Good day, Sir Ariel Tumagan. So we're here to discuss the four pillars of OOP, namely the encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. So I'm Criselda Joanady, and I'm assigned to discuss the concept of encapsulation. So first, I'm going to discuss the definition of encapsulation, and then I'll provide some examples as well. So what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is a way to restrict the direct access to some components of an object, so users cannot access state values for all of the variables of a particular object. Encapsulation can be used to hide both data members and data functions or methods associated with an instantiated class or object. So to simply explain this concept po, we use this para ma-hide yung sensitive data sa users and that way may increase yung security ng data. So here's our first example. In the user class, una po is nag-declare tayo ng private variables which is yung name and age. Then nag-create tayo ng constructor para pag gumawa tayo ng object sa main, pwede tayo mag-set ng initial value through parameters. In encapsulation, it's important to have getters and setters na method. And for this program, we have getName method which is nagre-return ng value ng variable na name. Tapos yung setName method naman po, we use this to set the value ng variable na name. Then we also have getAge and setAge. Same lang po sila ng purpose except yung variable age naman po yung nire-return and sineset niya na value. Next slide. Tapos sa main naman po, we first created an instance of the class. Gumawa tayo ng object na person. Then nagset ako ng initial values na Criselda D and yung age is 20. Pero tapos tinawag ko yung set age na method. Tapos naglagay ako ng value na 19. So although naglagay tayo ng initial value na 20 years old, di siya madi-display sa output kasi ginamit natin yung set age method para ma-update or mag-set ng value for age. And here's our second example naman. We have a private variable na sum and then meron din tayong set and get methods. Sa set total, dito tayo maglalagay ng value which is yung A and B. And then, ipag-add niya yung A and B, tapos i-store niya yung sum sa sum. And then, get total. Ito naman, ipiprint niya lang yung output and yung sum. So, sa main class, pinag-add natin yung 11 and 13. Tinawag natin yung set total and then, di-display niya yung output kasi tinawag natin yung get total na method. So here's our third example. Basically, this is the same as my first example po. Pero in this program, we have an attribute na TUPID that is read only kasi wala siyang setter na method. So di po siya pwede baguhin. This way po, with the help of encapsulation, makokontrol natin yung access sa certain data which is in this example po is yung ID. So that's all for encapsulation. The next reporter will be Raikel Ivan Mencenas.
Good day, everyone. Once again, I am Raikel Ivan Mencenas, will be your reporter for the abstraction topic. So, una muna nating pag-aaralan is kung ano ba talaga ang abstraction. Next, paano natin nagagamit ito sa object-oriented programming and ano ang advantage nito. Then next, we are gonna talk about abstract classes, abstract methods, and syempre, yung using abstraction with abstract classes. So without further ado, let's begin. Next. So, ano ba talaga ang abstraction? So, as you can see guys on my PowerPoint, isa siyang OOP technique that hides certain details and only shows the important information. So, paano nangyayari itong abstraction na ito? And mapapansin nyo on the description, it can be achieved in two ways. The abstract classes uses abstract modifier, interfaces uses implements keyword. And the one that we are going to talk about is the abstract classes. Paano nga ba natin magagamit ang abstract classes? Next. And abstract class daw, hindi daw siya natin ini-instantiate para daw ma-access natin siya, kailangan natin siyang i-inherit from another class. And later guys, we will demonstrate it. And here it says that abstract method daw ay pwede lang daw siya i-declare sa loob ng abstract class. It is the method without a body. Meaning, meron tayong method na walang laman and it need to be overridden in the subclass of the abstract class. Next. Using the abstraction. So, this is the base class guys, yung abstract class animal, ayan yung tinatawag na base class natin. And sa kanang part naman, meron tayong maraming subclasses na mag-inherit sa base class natin. In this case, meron tayong animal and meron tayong subclasses na dog and cat na nag-inherit sa kanya. So, yung abstract nga ulit is, it is the object that is generalized, example, the animal. Wala naman talagang object na animal. So, hindi siya specific, meaning wala siyang meron na animal. It is an abstract idea. So, the abstract idea, bagay siya pero hindi siya specific. So, sabi nga animal. So, anong animal? Dog and cat. So, syempre, it's kind of useless na in-instantiate natin ang animal is equal to inyong animal. Kasi, anong animal yon? So, ginagawa na lang natin siya ng paraan or abstract meaning, hinahide na lang natin siya kasi nga general information siya na hindi natin kailangan malaman. And meron pa akong ibang example dito guys, yung example 2 and example 3. Next. And guys, yung tungkol naman sa pool, yung ating general idea, and then yung subclasses natin is yung junk and vegetable. And then next. And guys, as you can see, pare-pareho lang sila ng concept. And once again, yung abstract idea, balik mo sa 1. And example 1. Once again, yung abstract idea na dog, kasi for example, ang focus natin is iba't ibang breed ng dog. So, magiging generalized din siya. So, pwede rin siyang maging abstract idea. And yung dog guys, pwedeng maging iba't ibang breed. Kunyari, husky and iba pang breed. So, nakadepende na lang sa paggagamitan natin. So, gumagamit tayo ng abstraction para maiwasan ang ma-generalize na katulad ng abstract animal. I-hide na lang natin siya. So now, as you can see, meron tayong method na abstract void, yung nasa ilalim. Abstract void makes sounds and wala siyang laman. And kung bakit wala siyang laman, kasi sa ating IDE, gagawa tayo ng panibagong So, the reason bakit wala siyang laman kasi sa IDE natin siya gagawan ng parang laman para magko-connect sa pinaka-main file natin at makapakita natin yung mga make sounds and yung names ng mga ilalagay nating subclasses sa papunta sa abstract class o yung specific na general idea natin from the concrete idea. And that's basically it. Thank you for listening. And for the next reporter, I would like to call Maverick Ivan Cuevas.
Thank you, Raikel. I'm Maverick Ivan Cuevas, and I'm here to discuss inheritance. So, in 4 pillars of OOP, the concept of inheritance plays a pivotal role. It's a mechanism that allows one class to inherit the properties and behaviors of one another, fostering code reuse and maintaining a structured order. So here are the topics that will be discussed in inheritance. So first is what is inheritance, second, superclass and subclass, and third to fifth is examples of using inheritance. Next slide. So what is inheritance? Inheritance allows a class to inherit attributes and methods from a base class, creating a relationship between a superclass or parent class and a subclass or child class. This promotes a ordered structure in the code base, enabling the creation of specialized classes while keeping the overall code cohesive. Next. Now, to fully comprehend inheritance, so dissect natin yung terminology associated with it. So first is yung superclass. Superclass, also known as the parent class, shares its attributes and methods. It serves as the foundation for the subclasses to inherit from. Next is yung subclass. The subclass or child class inherits attributes and methods from the superclass. It can also have its own unique attributes and methods contributing to code extensibility. Next. So next is yung using inheritance. So in example number 1, we can see that animal is a superclass and dog is the subclass. In real life, you can think of an animal as a general category that includes common characteristics of all animals, such as the ability to eat. The dog class, being a subclass of animal, inherits the general ability to eat from the superclass. The specific behavior of barking is unique to dogs and is implemented in the dog subclass. Next. Now proceeding to example number 2, in the context of people, you can consider person as a general class representing individuals. The toddler class, being a subclass, inherits the basic characteristics of a person from the person superclass. The ability to drink milk is specific to toddlers and is implemented in the toddler subclass. Next. The final example, in the domain of transportation, vehicle is a general class representing common features of all vehicles, such as the ability to start. The car subclass inherits these general vehicle characteristics and adds its own specific behavior, like the ability to drive. The electric car subclass further refines this order, inheriting features from both the vehicle and car classes, and adding its specific behavior of being able to charge. This mirrors real life where different types of vehicles share common functionalities, but electric cars, for example, have unique characteristics like charging. So that's all for inheritance. Now let's proceed to polymorphism, which will be discussed by Julius Cesar Bisbal.
Thank you, Maverick. Hello, I am Julius Cesar Bisbal, and now we will talk about polymorphism. So ano nga ba ang polymorphism? First, i-discuss muna natin ang learning flow. Next. Kung ano nga ba ang polymorphism at magbibigay rin tayo ng 3 example nito about sa pillars ng OOP sa Java programming. Next. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism means many forms and it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. This OOP technique creates a single class and lets have many classes inherit from it to provide it multiple forms by using inheritance. Ang polymorphism daw ay nangangahulugang many forms o many different forms ng isang bagay o classes. At ang polymorphism din daw ay gumagamit ng isa pang OOP pillar which is inheritance. Halimbawa ng polymorphism is about sa food. May variant yung food na pwede siya maging vegetables, pwede siya maging fruits, pwede rin siya maging junk foods, o kaya pwede rin sa mga hayop. May mga pusa, may aso, at yung aso naman pwede pa siya magkaroon ng variant dahil sa mga lahi nila. Ganoon din sa pusa. So ayun, to further explain. Next. Ito yung isang example. Makita nyo yung class ng transportation which we called superclass dahil siya yung parang pinanggagalingan ng iba pang class. O pwede rin natin siyang tawagin as a parent class. So ayan, alam na natin na itong transportation na to ay marami siya pwedeng maging. Pwede siya maging aeroplano, pwedeng barko, pwedeng bus. Pero ang kinuha natin na subclass niya is yung jeepney and train. And ayan, nakikita natin na naka-extend yung class ng jeepney at train sa transportation. At ito ay nangangahulugang subclass sila ng transportation. Kung nakikita nyo dito, meron ditong void stop sound o yung mga sinasabi kapag hinto ng transportasyon. Makikita rin natin itong void stop sound na ito sa class ng jeepney at train, which is in-override niya yung stop sound ng class ng transportation. So kung walang laman itong mga subclass na ito, ang may print niya lang is ang may print niya lang sa main function natin is yung kung ano yung nakalagay sa transportation. So meaning, itong transportation na to ay pwede siya maging different form. Pwede siya maging jeepney, pwede siya maging train, o kaya iba pang transportation. Next. So ayan, ito naman. Ganun din, itong class na student na to, meron siyang dalawang subclass, which is yung computer science and information technology. So, kung walang laman itong void course na to, ang ipiprint niya lang is I am a student. Pero dahil nilagyan natin siya ng I am a computer science student and I am information technology student, so ayan yung magpiprint sa main kung ipiprint natin siya sa main. Next. Next class is person. So, ganun din, kung walang laman tong public void gender, kung wala din tong laman na I am a male person, ang ipiprint niya lang is I am a person na nasa gender. And then, that's all for the 4 pillars of OOP Java programming. Thank you, Sir Tumagan.